Hey, I'm Deidre Detterman, host of the Do It My Way podcast, where we empower women business owners and CEOs to do business on their terms with no regrets, hesitation, or fear. I'm obsessed with all things marketing. I started my career in television, and I remember sitting in countless meetings, listening to executives talk about things that needed to change, but they never did. I was always thinking, what if we did it my way? Once I became an entrepreneur and I started living life on my terms, working the hours I want to work, making the money I want to make, I started to feel success. I was finally in control of my destiny. I hope you will join me on this journey discovering how you can do it your way. I can't wait for you to meet my next guest, Jodi Smith. She's a content creator with over 100,000 followers on Instagram. She talks about fashion and all the girly vibes. You're going to love it. Jodi, thank you so much for being on the Do It My Way podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here because you're one of my absolute favorite people to follow on Instagram.
Oh,
so
nice.
You know, I feel like the world is kind of dark right now. There's a lot of like dark, and you're just always bright and sunny and happy and just like that bright light.
Thank you. Try to keep it positive on there.
Yes, which is fun. And it's like, you know, talking about fashion and clothes. Yes. There's nothing, you know.
It's lighthearted.
Yes, exactly. So, and I've had so much fun from a marketing standpoint watching you grow.
Oh,
because I think when I first reached out to you to do some client stuff, gosh, probably a year and a half ago, you had maybe 25,000 followers and you're at 100,000 followers.
Yes.
110,000 followers,
yes.
Which is massive. So I can't wait to get into that and kind of, you know, break that down because I know that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
So let's start with kind of, you started as a teacher, which was new to me. I didn't know that. So walk me through that.
Yeah. So not a lot of people know that I used to teach first grade. And then I had my daughter, got pregnant, and decided I wanted to stay home with her. So it was kind of a short-lived career, but I did learn a lot from it. So it was a good experience.
So you went to be a stay-at-home mom. Were you thinking at that time at all, like, I want to be a content creator, I'm going to be an influencer?
No. It was actually, I had a little bit of postpartum after having my daughter, Emmy, and I felt like I went from, it was a very quick transition from living in the dorms with all my girlfriends to getting married and having all these coworkers that I loved and talked to every day to being completely isolated. And I felt like, what can I do to have community and be with like-minded women? And my sister had had a baby at the same time, so we actually started with a motherhood blog. That's how it all began. So we did a motherhood blog for a while. Then I had my own little fashion blog while I was in early motherhood. And then I realized blogs were kind of phasing out and Instagram was really taking over. And I had people I enjoyed following on there, and I thought I would do that. I never set out for it to be what it is now. So,
you know, the people that have success, I think, are the ones that fall into it versus it being really calculated. You know, like, I'm going to show up and I want to be an influencer, and it seems like it doesn't work out whenever they try.
I will say I did decide, it wasn't like a lightning moment, but it was over time. I thought, I'm actually going to try. What if I actually put in effort and tried, and I had small goals, and then when I would reach those, I'd be like, whoa, what else can I do? You know, and it's just blown my mind where I'm at now.
Okay, so did your sister continue? Or
no, I felt like she was doing it more for me. Like, she is more of a writer, so I think that actually was more up her alley. And I loved taking pictures and documenting in that way. But no, I feel like she was kind of like, okay, Jodi, I can't keep up with this.
So at what point were you like, okay, this is actually something I can make money doing, and this could be a career for me?
I think after I got my first collaboration, my first thing ever was actually with Utica Square. They had a little fashion in the square, it was called, and they paid me $50 to go to, I think it was Gap and a couple other stores, and do a try-on, and I thought I won the lottery. I was like, I've arrived. And from there, you know, opportunities beget new opportunities, and it just kind of snowballs from there. So.
And how fun it's clothes.
Yes,
What girl doesn't want to go shopping?
Pay me to shop. I'm game. Like that.
I love that.
Right up my alley.
And so I feel like you've kind of niched to, number one, you talk about colors,
yes,
which I love. So House of Colors, we both have done that.
Yes.
You're spring, I'm a winter. And so, which is super fun. And my friends laugh at me because I really do not buy something that's not my color palette.
Yeah. Same.
And you are the same.
Yes. Same.
So, I mean, everything that you have, I love when you show your closet on Instagram and you're
thanks.
like, look at all those beautiful sweaters and shoes.
Spring is such a bright and splashy season. So yeah, my closet is the rainbow.
So how do you take the colors and like the House of Colors, what you learned through being a spring and all that, and implement it into your content?
I started realizing once people get their colors done, it becomes like this obsession. Like I could talk about it for days, and it's really hard because you want to be able to filter things by your season so you can shop and just know this is going to be in my colors. And so I started realizing that when I shared links and showed my swatches, people were loving that. And so at a certain point, I told my husband, I'm going to invest in all the color fans. So I actually will link things for every season, and I color swatch and match and go shopping and show for every season so that people can shop with confidence and know that when they're shopping my links, they can know it's their color. And that's been really fun. And then just showing different color combos I would do from the spring palette and that kind of thing.
I think that's one of the things I think that you have a gift for, because some of the stuff you put together, I would never think. And I'm like, wow, that looks great together, So that's a really fun part of that.
It is. I really enjoy it.
So, okay, do you look at people, because I do this, are you like, wait, that's not your color.
Oh.
Or, right?
Yeah.
Like if you, that's actually not your color.
Yeah.
Or I wonder if they know that that's their color. Like I tell people all the time, like, that's your color. My team knows.
Tell.
When they're wearing it, I'm like, that's your color.
Yeah,
you need to wear more of that
tell.
color. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely try to guess what people are, and you're not supposed to do that because I'm not a consultant, but I think I've pretty much honed in on it at this point.
Yeah, you can tell, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so your content has gone, I feel like you have elevated so much.
You.
Like in the last 6 months, and your engagement shows, your follower count shows. So how do you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do this week? Like, do you have a content calendar? How do you do your scheduling?
So I'm extremely type B. So I know there are influencers out there who have that full content calendar. They have everything mapped out. Maybe they do a series every Monday or whatever. I don't really do that. I feel like I'm at the heart a creative, and I go with what I'm feeling inspired by. So I just keep a running list in my phone of different ideas I come up with, whether it's maybe someone reached out with a question like, could you explain how you find X? And I'll put it in my phone as a future idea. And then as I'm feeling inspired, come back to it. But I have gotten really into editing in the last year. That's been fun. I think I was feeling a little bit in a slump. I was doing a lot of Amazon hauls, Target hauls, things. And I'm like, it's the same repetitive stuff.
I was buying that stuff.
Yes. And I still do that. I'll still do hauls and everything, but finding fun ways to engage my audience and make my videos something that they actually stop their scroll to watch has been really fun. Learning CapCut and all those editing tricks.
So do you edit everything yourself?
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that. Because so let's just say one of those videos that you do, like the super creative and all that, how long does that take you?
The ones that are highly edited, it can be like 3 hours maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're coming up with the idea, shooting, editing, posting.
Yeah, it can be a lot. But I will say that is the part that I really enjoy. Like the whole creative side of it is the most fun to me. So I have to create boundaries for myself and be like, okay, it's time to put your phone down now.
Right. And you do. I mean, you take the kids to school, I'm assuming, and then you've got your day.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people think, oh, a content creator, like, is that a real job? Like, you just dress up and look cute and go to parties and go take pictures, and you're like, no, this is like 3 hours to put one video together.
Yes.
I mean, and you can tell.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is a lot of work. And then you've got, if you're working with brands and doing collaborations, there's a lot of like back work on all that stuff. And life outside of that, being a stay-at-home mom and all those household things. So,
okay, so let's talk about brands for a minute. How do you decide what brands that you want to engage with? And I mean, are there some that you turn down? You're just like, no, that's not really my style.
Yes, I feel like that has been a journey. Like, I can remember when you say that, I think about probably 4 or 5 years ago. We call it like Burrito Gate, because I had a frozen burrito brand that wanted to work with me, and I saw what they were offering, and I was like, well, heck yeah, I'll do that. Like, well, I just have to post 4 times, but it became like, it was very scripted. And so I felt like a ding dong getting on and being like, family recipes that have passed down from generation to generation every week. I'm like, this is not in line. And so from that experience, I was like, okay, let's be more selective with what we're choosing. And I still feel like, you live and learn and you grow. But yeah, there's definitely been some rotten ones in the bunch.
I think the key is showing up authentically as yourself. Yeah. And even just like you saying, I don't do Mondays this, Tuesdays that. That's kind of more what an agency would do. Like that's kind of because we have to within our framework. Yeah. But for you to show up when you creatively feel like it and you find an outfit that you like and you're going to show up, that is what the audience wants. Yeah. Honestly.
It's true. Yeah.
It's that authentic creativity.
They can tell when you're genuinely excited about something and when you're not.
You're excited and you want to, you want to do it. So what are your favorite brands to wear?
Oh my gosh, this one is Sugar Lips. I feel like they have great color. So that's been fun to play in that stuff. There's another one, English Factory. I would say my style is feminine and playful. Mm-hmm. So anything that it has good color and good feminine details is
like really your little sheer underneath shirts.
Yes, so I look for those little details.
I love that. Mm-hmm. Now, is there anyone out there, an influencer, content creator over the years that you looked up to that you were like, wow, I want to be like that?
Well, in the beginning, I used to follow really closely Amber Fillerup. Mm-hmm. She was a big one. She had hair down to her booty, and so did I, and would do all these fun braids and things. And I followed this girl, Love Taza was her name, and she lived in a teeny tiny apartment in New York City with all her kids, but they had this very colorful home and it just looked so adventurous. So those were kind of the two in the early years that I really got into. Now I feel like all these, I guess you would call them micro influencers, are very in. So I just really, Instagram knows me better than I know myself at this point. Like my For You page is where I live. Yeah. So I just see so many content creators posting colorful outfits, probably because that's what I follow. Yes. Amazon, Target, and styling tips and things like that. So I follow like so many that I love.
There's so many good ones out there. Mm-hmm. So did you always have this confidence about you? Like when you first showed up online, were you like intimidated by posting your first video, or walk me through that?
Well, I feel like when I started this journey, it was a different era. It was all about having that aesthetically perfect Instagram photo. And now we've moved to more of an authentic, like show me your everyday life. I don't want
no makeup.
Yeah. The get ready with me. Even Reels came on the scene after I'd already started sharing and doing all this. So I remember the first Reel I posted, I was like, I don't know, but it went well. So it was good. But yeah, I feel like, originally when I started, I never sat down with myself and thought about like, so many people are going to see this. I never expected that so many people would in the end. So it's been kind of a slow progression.
Do you look back at those first videos and kind of cringe a little?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's like that with anything.
Yes.
My first podcast was really terrible.
We would always do that sped up try on where we're going like hyper speed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so like hard to follow with your eyes. And I just cringe at that. But it was a beginning.
Yes. So you have 3 kids.
Yeah.
And they're all young ages. No one's driving, right?
No one's driving yet, but my oldest is 14. Okay. So we're coming up on, she talks about getting her permit daily.
Oh, that's fun. But you are in the thick of like the busy mom.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining they play activities.
Yes.
And so it's not only just school back and forth, but taking them to all the practices and all the things they have to do. So do you have a point where you're like, you turn your phone off? Because I know that's one thing about being a content creator. It's 24/7.
Yeah.
Someone's commenting at midnight. Someone's commenting at 7 a.m. Like, how do you manage that?
So I feel like I really struggled with this more in the beginning. My husband and I would kind of like get into it because he was like, why is this so important to you to like get the perfect picture? And, you know, we all see those memes of the moms trying to get the perfect picture of their kids, and you're like, smile, act like you're happy, you know, you got to do this. And in the beginning, they were a big part of my page, and they're not as much anymore. I try to actually keep them off because people are weird. But
and they're older, you get older.
They don't want to be in pictures as much or any of that. But then I feel like we were able to come to a place of like, okay, let's just get the content in the beginning, try to put my phone away after that and actually enjoy the experience that we're having instead of being obsessed with it being perfect. And I feel like the change in Instagram has also made things easier. I don't need a perfect picture. But yeah, I really feel like that is actually an area that I feel convicted about.
Yeah.
Because it's hard when work is on your phone. You know, I don't have an office where I close my door and I'm like, I'm working right now. And people constantly message, like you were saying, like all hours of the day needing a link, and it can feel very imminent. Like if I don't send them the link quickly, I might miss out on the sale. They'll become uninterested. But I really have to just realize my priorities. And I think I'm trying to be better about having hours, like having more boundaries about when the kids are in school, that's my work time. When they're home, I'm putting it away.
And you don't have anyone helping you with messages or anything like that?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, now they have those automatic linking services that helps me a ton.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I try to automate all that, which originally I was sending out each individual link, you know, so.
How many stories do you try to do a day?
I feel like it just varies depending on what I have going on. Probably like 5 to 10 maybe.
Is there like a secret number or anything?
No.
Or you just kind of, as you're feeling it, you'll do it?
It's funny as you say that. I think other influencers probably know that secret number. But I do it as I feel. Like there are days where my stories will expire and I don't have anything on there. And then I'm like, oh, well, good, because the first story you post after they expire is a banger, because I don't know, that's something with the algorithm.
Really?
Yeah, it spikes it back up if you can let them expire. So
oh, interesting.
I just ride the wave.
Yeah.
You know?
That's great. So what would a day in the life be like for you? So like you get up, what time do you get up, and what is your day like?
So I take the kids to school every morning right now. Emmy is running track, so we're getting her to school at 7:30. We live kind of far from school, so we're leaving the house around 7. So yeah. Are
you ready? Are you like up and ready, or you're just out the door?
No. You'd be shocked at some of the fits. I arrived to school and I'm like, don't look at me. But I bring them to school. I play a lot of tennis. Yeah, kind of an obsession outside of fashion.
That's a great obsession.
Tennis.
Now, tennis or pickleball? Or are you both?
Tennis, but I play pickleball, but in my mind, pickleball is not a real sport.
Right. Sorry, Josh.
Sorry to offend. But I love tennis. So I'll usually work out, play tennis at some point, and then work on some type of video or some type of content, whatever I have going on at the time.
Yeah.
And pick the kids up. And like you said, my kids are all in basketball. Well, not Emmy, but my son plays on 2 different teams, so we have practice every night of the week. So we're usually running around.
So you've got to get your windows kind of that afternoon. Yeah. You've got to get it done then.
Yes. And that's what's hard when you're editing or something and you're like, I just have a few more tweaks to do, but they're trying to tell you a story or something, and then I feel guilty later. It's like, it's hard at times.
It is hard to balance. And I think that, like you said, it's hard to be disconnected because we are connected to our phone.
Yeah.
And I've always got my phone sitting there because I think when you have kids, and now my kids are grown, but even grown kids, they might need me. What if they wreck? What if something, you know, so my phone is always sitting right there.
Yes.
And then I'm getting clients texting and you can't help but look, you know, so it really is a hard thing to balance.
Yes. Thankfully, my husband keeps me in check with that. He's like, okay, time to put that away. I'm like, all right, thank you.
What does he think about your content creation?
He's so supportive. You know, we are so opposite. So my husband's an accountant and he would probably have my schedule like, but he's so supportive. I feel like now he is very, like, I think he just appreciates how different we are. He thinks like anything creative I do, like, how did you think of that? And how did you come up with that? And he'll help me with, filming if need be and stuff. But yeah, I think we're at like such a good place now of appreciation for what each of us bring.
And yours is a job now.
Yeah,
like you're making money.
I think once that started happening, he was like,
this is real.
Now I get why. I'm like, yeah, we had to like, for a while, you just kind of have to keep showing up, keep saying yes to every opportunity, keep trying, and then things start to come.
Yeah. So if there's a stay-at-home mom out there that's like, okay, I have a passion for, cooking or clean, whatever it is, what is your recommendation for them just to show up?
Well, first of all, I feel like there are infinite free resources at this day and age. Like when I first started, I found a podcast about Instagram and all things content creation, and I would listen to it. I remember painting bedrooms in our new house and just consuming hours of this podcast. And I would just say, start looking on YouTube, start asking chat your questions. People have asked me a ton about how do you edit your videos? I'm like, anything I see that I'm like, I want to know how to do that, put it in chat, learn how to do it.
Yeah.
And it's so quick and easy. And there's so many influencers that even share, tips for how to get your videos seen by more people. And so I would just start consuming that kind of content and then just put yourself out there, just try, like bet on yourself,
right.
And
I think sometimes you never know what's going to hit.
No.
It's funny, like what we'll do, because we're working more like with client brands, but what we think that we put all this energy into
100%.
doesn't do anything.
Yes.
And then the off the whim, something that was like no big deal, the afterthought is what takes off.
So when you were saying that my page was at like 25,000 when you first met me, and now it's at 110,000. Right. So what took me, I think I was at like 37,000 followers, and I was sick as a dog. I hadn't posted in a long time. I was like, you better get something up there. And I had this idea in the back of my mind about current trends. Like if you're still, I think I'd seen a couple outfits and I was like, we got to know. People got to know.
Right.
That's done. Like stop worrying that. And what could they replace it with? And so I put this video together, put it up with no, like thinking that's just an average video of mine. It's at over 3 million views. It took me to 110,000 followers within I think a couple weeks. Yes.
Oh my
Within a few weeks.
goodness.
It was like, and I'd been seeing for years people who would be like, I just decided to start an Instagram and I kept posting and like all their videos are viral. And I'm like, I've been doing this for 10 years and I've never had that kind of success. So it's really just a roller coaster with Instagram. You have to be willing to be consistent and just keep posting because you don't know what's going to hit and take off. So
how often do you post?
I probably post 3 times a week. Sometimes it's more. It just kind of depends on what I have going on. But as far as like a reel, I would say like 3, maybe 4 times a week.
Yeah, that's great. And, like not knowing what's going to go viral, but I think once you got to the 110,000, like you have to show up.
Yeah.
You're like, now it's pressure.
Yeah.
I have all these new people because they could easily just be gone and not be paying attention.
Yes, I felt that in the beginning. And then I was like, okay, I have to just relax and do me because it was kind of stressing me out a little bit to feel like now I have to rise to that level every single time. And I'm like, okay, what got me here in the first place? Just posting something that I genuinely saw in the wild and thought, this is a solution to a problem.
And putting your little spin on it,
Yes.
And I think the difference with you also is you have a niche. Like you've kind of niched to the color thing.
Yes.
You kind of, you do a lot of the Amazon stuff.
Yes.
I feel like you can, because a lot of times we'll follow these content creators and it's like, I'm not going to pay $3,000 for a shirt.
Right.
Like it's just, you look great, but no.
Yes.
And yours is very real and like, I got this from Target. I got this from Amazon. It looks great. Or here's the dupe, of it, which is huge.
Yes.
So do you feel like the niche has played a big part in your role?
Yes, for sure. I think a ton of people follow me after color analysis. So I try to keep that a part of my page as much as I can and recognize that a lot of followers are there to see that content. And then like you were saying about what's going on in the world being heavy and my page always being a place that feels lighthearted and enjoyable. And I've really tried on purpose to keep it that way and keep it very fashion oriented. I do family lifestyle stuff, but for the most part, you know what you're going to get.
So does House of Color sponsor you or no?
No.
Why are you not sponsoring her? Like House of Color, for real. You are like the number one pushing that.
Well, so many consultants are so kind. A lot of them will say, anytime I get a spring in my chair, I immediately tell them to follow you. So they've been so kind. And then Crystal Smith, who you've had on the podcast, she was the one who originally did my colors, and she's been so generous with me too. And always she did my style to thank me for having, recommended lots of people to get their colors done and give me some makeup, things like that.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Well, good. Well, I think they need to be the top of the list.
Yeah.
Right? They're like a worldwide company.
They are. Yeah.
I love that. So the podcast is all about do it my way, which means you're not following the path that anyone else is doing. Yeah. You're kind of doing what's true to you. I worked in the corporate world for 10 years. And once I left to become an entrepreneur and started to do it my way, that's when I felt like I had freedom. Yeah. So how in your life have you done it your way?
Well, I feel like I'm still in shock just knowing I'm just such a creative person, and I'm in shock that I've been able to find a role that has been able to fill every one of those buckets for me, and I'm actually getting to make money doing something I love so much. So it's been a huge blessing and joy to be able to do this. And I think doing it my way is just kind of what I've expressed here. Like, I try to hold Instagram extremely loosely because you don't know, it could be hacked or my account could be taken tomorrow. So I try to really just do what brings me joy instead of feeling like I have to be like so-and-so, or I have to, like you were asking about, post every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and just kind of seeing it as enjoy it for what it is and ride the roller coaster and just be grateful for all the opportunities it's brought into your life.
If you can do a job and not feel like a job and wake up every day
and I don't, I'm I can't believe I get to make money doing this.
Right. Which is amazing. Yeah. I love that. So anything in your future, anything on the horizon that you're like, I really want to do that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, you're having fun now. You've got three busy kids. Well, when your kids are grown, then you can be thinking of what the next step is. I remember being in that, you're kind of in that rat race of just, busy. And at night, just putting your head down on the pillow and going, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted.
Yes.
So, I can see a lot of things out of you.
Oh, thank you.
I've had so much fun just watching you grow and go through this. And I know there's a lot more to come.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun.
Well, thanks for being on.
Thank you for listening to the Do It My Way podcast. If you're wanting to build a personal brand, but you aren't sure where to start, I want you to book a discovery call with me at deidredetterman.com. I hope you are empowered today to do business on your terms with no regrets, hesitation, or fear. Again, head over to deidredetterman.com and click on Get a Quote.